And welcome back to probably the second episode now of the Slack Doctors. I am Dr. Bob, and joining us via Zoom in a rare switch of fortune is Dr. Chip and the Patriarch. Gentlemen?
He's been known as Dr. Parker before on the radio.
That was the radio name.
Yeah, right. But so here we go with our first Zoom meeting for me on the Slack Doctors from Boston. We are currently experiencing a slight nor'easter.
I was going to ask you about that. I
Interesting.
was curious if that was going to interrupt your travel plans, or if you're going to be able to catch your flight tomorrow or not. Or
No, dude, it's nothing. It's like a little wind and rain. It's not. It's a light nor'easter.
Fair
and
enough.
The funny thing is, it came up from the south. So I was like, I thought they had to come from, but I guess the wind comes off the north, so it's
Yeah.
still a nor'easter.
I think nor'easter just means that's the part of the country that it happens in.
Yeah,
As
it
in
could
it
be.
happens up in the northeast. So
With the absence of any news nuggets, I figured we should mention that as we tape this, the world is currently celebrating the release of all 2,000 hostages
yes,
of the Palestinians, and a couple of Jews too.
a handful.
Dude, I just watched a speech by Trump this morning. I assume you didn't see it.
No.
Well, it was very interesting. It's a must watch. It's quite entertaining. But the most telling moment is all right, throughout the whole speech, anything he says, they're jumping up, the standing ovation, everything Trump is great, this and that and the other thing. And then he actually starts talking about the fact that so now that we've destroyed Iran's nuclear program and they can't possibly make one, they're not 2 months away anymore. We're now going to start talking about peace with Iran. And everybody there kind of went, really? I don't know about that, which I thought was quite telling.
Yes,
And then the other thing-
our one strike that completely decimated and ruined any chance they may ever have. Not that there was any proof that they were ever doing it in the first place, but
the other most telling thing is, I guess there was the president of Israel. I didn't know there was a guy above Bibi Netanyahu, but Trump basically stops about mid speech and says, he looks at the guy and goes, "Hey, you should give Bibi a pardon."
Nice.
It's like, and the whole place, of course, goes crazy. And
Nice.
of course, the guy's sitting there going, "Well, we'll talk about it. I don't know. We'll see what they say." But it was quite interesting. Where are you going?
Coffee.
Oh, he's getting his coffee.
I'm drinking my coffee right
He's out
now.
already.
Let me just say, if we ever were to pick up a corporate sponsor, 7 Brew, let me just say that 7 Brew makes probably the greatest cup of iced coffee I've ever tasted in my entire life. Probably should be illegal.
Where do
That's
you
how
get
good
it?
it is.
Where do you get that from?
The closest one, I can't get them in Gainesville. They're building one in Gainesville. So when I come down here, I drink like 4 of them on every road trip. Hypoluxo and Military is the closest one to your house.
Oh, so it's a store called 7 Brew.
Yeah, it's a drive-through coffee
Oh,
shop.
I thought it was just a drink you got at Dunkin' or something
Oh,
like that.
no.
You
It's
know.
its own thing. Yeah, you got to go there to get it. Yeah.
Speaking of coffee, I can't drink the coffee here. He makes his coffee so weak. I literally looked in the coffee machine, like, to see how much coffee he was using for a whole pot. I use twice as much for 1 cup.
Right. I've heard that referred to as like Minnesota coffee or Midwest coffee. And the
maybe,
reasoning
yeah.
that I was told for it, like, I don't know, I can't say why you'd be doing it in Boston, but maybe it's the same. It's that out there it's so cold that you kind of have to drink coffee all day just to stay warm. And if you made it the proper strength, you'd be a jitterbug by the end of the day. Your teeth would be falling out of your head. So there might be something to that.
What else? Oh, so let me ask you, now that you're living in my house for a few days, have you seen any old naked men yet?
No, but it's funny. I was going to add, I introduced myself, or rather reintroduced myself to your landlord, Jim. I've met that guy no less than 6 times. He never remembers who I am. Every single time I meet him, I have to give him my name. He gets it wrong. I recorrect him on the last letter. I tell him the same anecdote every time about CD-ROMs and Microsoft. And then before that, I had to say, no, that's an M. And every single time he's like, oh, well, it's nice to meet you. So he might.
In his defense, he is his age.
Okay, well, I was going to say, maybe, I don't know if there's any dementia or touch of that going on or whatever, but he never recognizes me.
Well, he's not doing that great. His health has been not that great lately. He's had some problems, so maybe he's, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
But aside from inciting the dog next door to bark, I don't think anybody really noticed my presence there.
That little yappy dog is rather annoying.
Yeah, that thing was going
Anyway.
off.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about this episode with is I wanted to grill my dad on a lot of the part of his life that I know nothing about, which is basically anything from before he met my mom. Now, from there on, I pretty much know how it went, but anything before that, I have no idea. So let me start by asking him, who were your grandparents, and did you ever meet them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure did. My grandfather was Clyde Tilghman III. The second, third was my cousin.
Well, then wait a minute. How are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. Right. Okay.
Clyde Tilghman. He lived next door to us in Virginia Beach. We had two houses. We had a house in town, which was the primary residence, and we had a beach house, quote unquote. It was a huge building. It was cut in half. It was really two apartments, 2 bedrooms on one side and 3 on the other.
Right. So what was your grandmother's name?
Margaret.
Margaret.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, my grandmother on my father's side. My mother's side, my mother's name was Alma Ruth, and my grandmother's, I can't remember her name.
Wow.
I'll think of it.
It's been a long time.
Yeah,
So you were born in Virginia?
Yeah, Norfolk.
And then how long did you live there?
Probably until I was maybe 10. When you were in middle school. Because when I went to Florida, I was in middle school.
Okay, well, when you went to Florida, was your dad still alive?
No.
Okay.
No, my dad died when I was 10.
Right.
Yeah.
And is that why you moved, maybe?
No, my mother got married again.
Oh, okay.
Carl Griswold was his name.
I never knew anything about any of this. This is amazing.
Like vacation Griswolds?
We moved down to Florida, to Hialeah, and we stayed there.
You lived there till you went to college, right?
Yep. So I went to Gainesville.
Right.
And I went to Gainesville primarily, I guess, because I'd been signing my own report card with my left hand for, I don't know, 2 years, something like that.
Because by then your mom had died too, right?
Right. So I was living in the house, staying below the radar as much as I could. And the dean of girls caught me. I was signing my report card. Because I want to see your mother right now. That's going to be a problem.
That's going to be a problem. Yeah.
You can see her headstone, but you're not going to see her.
So you were beyond the latchkey key. You were the key holder kid of everything from 15 on, right? Right.
Yeah.
All right. So when did the flying come in? Because I know you've flown some, right?
Yeah, that was after. No, that was when that was in Miami. I was at Opa-locka Airport, not Opa-locka Airport. It's now the University of South Florida where the airport was. And I can't remember the name of the airport, but it was a single strip. And it was nothing but small craft, J3 Cubs, stuff like that. No big aircraft.
Now, were you taking lessons? Is that what you did?
Oh, yeah.
And then you had cousins and stuff that flew also.
My uncle, my cousin Richard.
Right.
Who was an idiot, by the way. He ended up dying in an airplane crash.
It happens.
Well, I was coming in for a landing once, and I just happened to notice a shadow off to the side, and it was him underneath me.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, this dumb bastard didn't even look to see what was going on. Just,
So you guys almost had a mid-air collision. Right, lovely.
Yeah, but I saw him.
And is that when you quit?
Pretty close.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
So let me. I wanted to ask a quick question and interrupt. Did you have siblings? Your brothers and sisters? No. Okay.
Oh.
What did he say?
Did I have siblings?
Oh no, no. He and I both only children.
Okay. I mean, because I've met Uncle Skip, but I knew that was your mother's brother. So.
So all right. So is there anything that you up until the time you met my mom, anything significant that you'd like to mention?
Not really. I mean, it's just living life,
Living life in South Florida in what, the 50s, 60s?
Yeah.
That must have been interesting.
Oh, it was, I'm trying to think of what some of the stuff that happened back then.
Well, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Let's fast forward a little bit to what I think is probably the most interesting part of your life that I know about. is about when you used to teach speed reading.
Oh, well, I don't know how interesting that was, but.
Well, it was interesting to me. I mean,
Yeah.
let me explain my perspective of it. I was like, what, 13, 12, 13,
Yeah.
maybe even less, maybe even like 10. I forget. I was pretty young. But as you know, I'd go spend summers with him, and he would drag me along to what they would call these mini lessons,
Right.
which is basically their way of getting people to.
Yeah.
So I would sit through these things. I probably sat through at least a dozen of them.
Yeah.
Of him teaching these people within like an hour or two how to read faster, which was very interesting. It's got some interesting concepts. But let me ask you this: Evelyn Wood is no longer around, right?
Oh, she's been dead a long time.
Well, no, I mean like the school.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Does anybody still teach speed reading? And a follow-up question to that. Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot
But
of
it's not Evelyn Wood.
No.
Because a lot of people said, "Oh, that's a scam." Now, what do you say to that?
Don't say the words and you'll read faster.
That's true.
Don't say the
That's
words
true.
to yourself. You've already seen them a million times. You know, you don't need to say it again.
What he's talking about is the thing called subvocalization,
Yes.
which most people do when they read. They say the words in their head.
Some people don't.
Which it's funny. He accused me. I was talking to him yesterday about, I just think reading is a slow way to get information. He goes, well, that's if you read slow. And I'm like, well, I read faster than Rom.
Yeah,
Considering
you do read faster than I do.
Books.
But I definitely do that subvocalization. And interestingly enough, I think that's one of the reasons why I have the spelling abilities of a 12-year-old Chinese girl. Because I can spell everything. And the reason is because when I say it in my head, I hear it pronounced the way it's spelled. So in other words, whenever I'm writing the word Wednesday, in my mind, I hear Wednesday. I hear it the way it's. I hear February. I don't February. You know what I mean? So
he's a famously bad speller, I think. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Same thing.
I can't even spell my own last name, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. No, I can spell like a MFer for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was interesting. And then you lived in Oklahoma for a while. You didn't like that very much.
No, about 6 months.
Yeah.
First tornado came by. I said, "Okay, I'm out of here."
Right. And then you got into the boating thing, right?
Right.
Well,
I did boating in high school. My first trip I took to New York was with Lester Wheeler's dad, who was a captain on a boat called, I'll forget, the Pilgrim Second. Wooden boat, twin engine, and we took it from Miami up to New York and back again.
Right.
So that was I did that 2 summers or 3 summers, I guess.
But that's eventually what landed you here, right?
Yeah.
He apparently rode a boat here, got off, and never got back on, right?
You got it. I liked it here. I liked it a lot better than Florida, to tell you the truth. I shouldn't say that, should I?
Well, no, you can say whatever you want.
I just saw.
Florida's got it. Every place has got its ups and downs. It's truthfully, if I had my druthers, I'd be living here in the summer and Florida in the winter. So that'd be the ideal way to be doing it. But let's see, what else did I want to talk about? Oh, there's a funny thing. I wanted to just make a quick mention. Even though I'm in a state that has legal marijuana, I have not smoked a bit of marijuana since I've been here. And one of the main reasons is, well, first of all, the dispensary isn't within walking distance, so that's a problem. Second of all, I've been coughing up so much black shit from not smoking for a couple of days.
It's good to take a break.
5 days without smoking might not do me too bad. And then the most important reason, if I did smoke up here, I would have to smoke outside, which obviously not really feasible right now, the nor'eastern, because literally in this house, every room has some kind of thing that makes oxygen or an oxygen tank.
Yeah,
I'm amazed you guys cook in this environment with an open flame. I'd be afraid this place would just blow the oxygen around. Anyway.
All right, time for an induction cooker.
Yeah, right. So anyway, what else is going on? This whole thing with Trump in the Middle East is.
I'll be right back.
It's hilarious. You really got to watch the speech. It's comical at times. It's inspirational at times. And as I told Dad, I said, if nothing else, this speech has convinced me Trump actually really wants peace, and he doesn't care who he has to kill to get it. Well, I'm totally convinced.
I was sure to christen your apartment while I was there, so it's been freshly smoked in. When you come back, there should still be some faint odor.
Oh, I'm sure.
I didn't want the
I
landlord
gotta
to
say,
think
I'm
anything
kinda,
was amiss. I wanted
I
the
will
same
be happy to
sounds
get
and
back
smells
to Decatur.
to be coming from the place. So here's an interesting little something I wanted to bring up, and I didn't even think about this until the other day. And what reminded me of it again was last night. So last night I walked over to that little right by your house. There's like a little Cuban coffee pastry, Bahia or something like that it's called. And I just went
Right.
over there to get a coffee, and there was quite a few homeless people on the way. We were hanging out in front of the place. As I walk past them, nobody asked me for anything. As I walk away with my beverage, and nobody asked me for anything. And then I started realizing and thinking about the fact that nobody ever asks me. Homeless people never approach me for money. Nobody ever asks me for donations. The Walmart in Gainesville, I go to 3 times a week, and there's always some group of college kids in front, either accepting donations for SPCA or their sports team or something. I make eye contact with them. Nobody ever asks me for anything on the way in or out of the store. One day I was even going to this Walmart. There's a guy out front who's like a Jesus freak. He's handing out pamphlets to people, and as he hands them all he's saying to each person is, Jesus loves you. That's it. He's not asking them for money. He's not telling them to come to his church, nothing like that. Jesus loves you. Hands him the piece of paper. As I'm walking into the store, I make eye contact with him. He says nothing. I go about my shopping. I leave Walmart. As I'm walking out, I look at him again. He says nothing. And on that day, I was feeling my Wheaties. So I stopped and looked at him and said, so Jesus doesn't love me, huh? And he starts, no, Jesus loves everybody. I said, hey, it's too late to backpedal now, pal. You made eye contact with me twice. You didn't say anything. So my question to you and to, our viewers, do I have resting asshole face? Is there something about my forehead that says, don't fucking ask, I'm not going to give it to you?
Here's the thing. I got a feeling that if you've done that long enough, you can just tell by looking at somebody, nah.
It might have
have that look.
It might have to do with when I was a younger man. For a while, I worked at Roxy's on Clematis, like downtown West Palm. And I had to walk the gauntlet of bums every single day. There's a lot of homeless guys down there on Clematis. And so maybe I did develop a steel visage, some sort of iron curtain across my forehead that says, no, fuck off. I'm not giving you anything. Because, they don't ask.
It's funny you mentioned that. Just the other day I was getting gas, and I don't typically give anybody nothing. Like, can I get $1? Or, fuck yourself. But this guy was sitting there, and he, as I'm pumping the gas, he goes, hey, you don't have a couple $100 you could spare, do you? And I looked at him and I go, yes, actually I do. I'm not giving it to you, but I do actually have a couple $100 in my pocket right now. And I walked over and gave him like $5. I was like,
nice.
Yeah, that was pretty clever. Here you go.
Yeah, but I don't even get asked for cigarettes. I go outside of a place and smoke. That's insane. That I can't explain it. I'm not complaining about it. I just can't explain it.
No reason to complain about not being accosted.
It's a good thing. I should teach a course how to look like you're just unapproachable.
Right. I don't think he's got the same look. I swear to God, because I remember when I first came to the city. When you go in the city, there are a lot of people that are like and he would walk by and they would come up to me and then like start accosting me and just look at him and they go, oh, never mind.
Yeah. And I can remember back in high school and managing restaurants and in jobs that I've had people come up to me and say, are you mad? And I was just really thinking about something, like really concentrating on something. And so maybe maybe your forehead just wrinkles a certain way when you're deep in thought. It makes you look mad. That's the only explanation I have.
Well, I get a feeling that some people just, if you're not just like a smiley cheerleader 24/7, they think there's something wrong. I get that sometimes too. I'm like, people go, are you okay? Everything all right? I'm like, yeah, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Like, well, you look like you're upset. I'm like, I'm just resting bitch face, I guess, or something. I don't know. I get that every once in a while, but it's funny. There are not that many. You really thought there were that many homeless people by my house? I don't see that many. I mean, there's usually one guy that hangs down by.
It was only 2, but I mean.
Oh yeah, I was going to say.
I only walked a block, so 2 in a block is a pretty good ratio, I would say.
Right. And I should warn you. Have you tried eating anything from that little Cuban stand?
No.
I wouldn't. No, I tried it once when I first moved in there, and it was like, oh my, this is not. It was not good.
No, but I did take advantage of the fact that I was in South Florida yesterday and went to Havana and got a Cuban sandwich. It was delicious.
There you go.
Can't get those in Gainesville. Not good ones.
And you don't like Don Ramon's, huh?
I actually prefer Havana.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it about Havana you like better?
They put more meat on the sandwich for one thing. It's a bigger sandwich.
Oh, well, I've never had a sandwich at Don Ramon's, so I would just get there. Yeah, so that could be.
And Don Ramon's also is a place, at least every time I've ever been there, it takes 2.5 hours to eat. It shouldn't take that long, but like the service is slow, the kitchen is slow, it's very laid back.
Yeah, it's island time service. Yeah. I've definitely noticed that. You have to be patient. You can't be in a hurry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not somewhere to go on a business lunch. Not a good idea.
Yeah, true. Well, I think during lunch hour they actually might step it up a little bit, but and it depends which Don Ramon you go to too. There's a bunch of them, and the only one I ever go to is the one out on Military.
Right, and then last
the one
night
on Dixie is
afterwards, I went up to Carvel and got a
Sunday. In Wellington, I've never ever been to. That one might be all right. Who knows? But yeah, but I love me some Cuban food. You don't get much of that up here, do you?
Oh no.
You know where the best Cuban sandwich in Gainesville is, and this blew my mind because I was looking for them for a while. So one day I'm getting the oil changed on my car at the Honda dealership. And they've got like a little cafe in there, and it's run by this little Cuban lady, and they sell coffees and sandwiches. I was bored, so I'm like, yeah, I'll get a Cuban sandwich. It was really, really good. Like the best Cuban sandwich in Gainesville is inside the Honda dealership in the service department.
No kidding. That's hilarious. So speaking of Gainesville, he spent a little time there.
Yeah.
He actually used to run a radio station down there. What was it called?
GGG.
Was it GGG? I thought it was something else.
DBH?
Yeah, that's
DBH,
that's the one I'm thinking
of. Country station.
Well, GGG wasn't in Gainesville, was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought that was down here.
Gainesville.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So where did you work down here in radio or TV or whatever?
Channel 12.
Ah, gotcha. But I thought you didn't do radio down here? It was all TV?
TV.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So Dr. Parker, I'm guessing you're aware of where Tom Petty's house was there on 13th, right off of 13th?
Yeah.
That is now an Airbnb.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You can stay there if you want to.
Guitar lessons with your room?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but it's a horrible place to pick for an Airbnb, though, because that intersection is, I mean, I can't imagine trying to get out of that driveway on a daily. And it has to be an Airbnb. Nobody could live there. It's just a horrible location. Unless you're just going to walk everywhere.
So I should mention that for the short time that I lived with him in Gainesville while I was going to college, or beer school, as they used to call it, he gave me a job at his radio station being a DJ on Sunday mornings from like 6 a.m. till 12 at night. So needless to say, me being a drunken college student, I pulled a couple of pretty much all-nighters and show up at this radio station at 6 a.m, half in the bag, to do this, which is basically all they did was run like hour-long programs for the most part. But there was this old lady that used to come in and do a call-in show, which I didn't have to do much for it other than just let her loose and maybe run a commercial every once in a while. But more times than I can count, she would have to come into the control room and like, hey, wake up, Chip, show's over. Because it was just like, but yeah, that's my brief career as a DJ in Gainesville. And of course that one day the whole station just shut off. Remember that?
Oh
yeah. Yeah, I'm sitting there, everything's going along fine. All of a sudden, everything turns off. And like, yeah, dead air is not, a radio station with dead air is not a good thing. So I'm like, hey, Dad, what do I do? He goes, oh, call this guy right away. And the guy walked me through all the switches I had to flip to put everything on. And
with modern technology, I don't think I've tuned into a radio station in Gainesville once in the 3 years that I've lived there. I just use Spotify and I don't really, or Sirius XM radio. I've never listened to any of the local Gainesville stations.
I was on radio back then. XM didn't exist.
Yeah. Right. That's when radio was something. I mean, I was going to say, I very rarely, if I'm in my car, I'm on the radio, but that's it. I mean, and like you say, most cars now have that Sirius and stuff. So I don't know who listens to radio anymore.
Right. Well, I know almost every new car, if you buy a new car, they all come with 6 months of Sirius XM right off the bat. They want to try to get you hooked into it so you'll stay with it. But even Spotify, I mean, what else do you need, really? You can hear pretty much any song that's ever been written with very few exceptions.
Yeah, that's what you use when we're riding around, right? Spotify?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I've only ever found one album that I could not find on Spotify. Like I've tried to stump Spotify, and I've only ever succeeded once. and it
Really?
is one of the most offensive albums. It's from this punk band called the Butt Trumpets, and the name of the album is Primitive Enema, and it is not on Spotify.
Do they have Two Live Crew on Spotify?
Oh yeah,
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding.
yeah, the only thing I've ever searched for, and they just didn't have it, was the Butt Trumpets. You can find it on YouTube though. It's hideous.
How would you even know about them?
My sister turned me on to it years ago because she likes punk bands.
Crazy. Yeah, that's got to be. That's not the the guy Gigi Allen or whatever. The guy's dead now.
Yeah, the guy that used to play with the cheese grater on the back of his
He
guitar.
used to do all kinds of crazy stuff. He used to just beat people up out of the audience and pee on people and shit on stage.
I've seen him spit on
kinds of
people a
crazy
lot.
stuff like that. But he wasn't in the butt trumpets, was he?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No, and it's that. And the thing I remember most about the album because I used to have the CD. I probably still have it somewhere in my one of my closets or something. But there's a hidden track at the end of the CD. You have to wait like 8 minutes when the CD ends before this hidden track starts. And as offensive as the whole album is, the hidden track is even worse. The name of it is I Want It in the Butt Now. And it's like there's dudes and chicks in the band, and they're all singing the lyrics about how they all want it in the butt now. It is just off the hook disturbing.
Sounds like something you wouldn't want to be listening to in prison.
No, absolutely not. No. But they have a lot of the songs are just angry punk songs. Like there's a song called Kill All the Hippies in Seattle. There's one called Dead Dogs in My Garage. You do yourself a favor and check out the album. It's worth a listen.
Yeah, but where are you going to find it?
It's on YouTube. You just can't get it on
YouTube,
Spotify.
right.
Yeah.
Which is surprising because YouTube, according to say hi to our young boy Ethan there, is supposedly really starting to crack down on censorship.
Yeah. Well,
I guess it's not dirty words per se.
I think the reason the album's not on Spotify is not a censorship thing. I think it's probably a monetary thing.
Probably.
Because they've got plenty of offensive music on Spotify.
Right. So you used to have some good stories about sailing up here. Like one time, didn't you guys get hit by a rogue wave or something like that?
Yeah, we were just cruising along, having a good time, and then all of a sudden the boat went like this, and this boom, and it hit the refrigerator came off. It has little feet that held it to the deck.
Right.
Tore those loose, hit the ceiling, came back down, and we heard everything in there crash and break. So we knew not to open the door.
Right.
Gonna be up to our knees in milk.
Right.
So,
crazy. Well, at least you're lucky you hit it head on, apparently, right? Imagine if it hit you from the side, it probably would have capsized the boat or something.
Well, if it hadn't, it would have definitely done a lot more damage.
Right.
Than it did.
And which boat was that?
The Lori H.
Right. Now, would you say the 007 was the biggest boat you worked on?
Yeah.
Right, and that's the one from I don't remember if you remember an old. It was the Bond movie with the big giant guy with the gold teeth, right? And there was a boat in the movie that
guy was named Jaws.
That kind of separated somehow. How did they make them do that? Did they ever tell you?
No.
But anyway, it was in a movie. But he was a first mate on that boat for a long time.
that villain's character's name was Jaws.
Yes.
They were like steel. They were steel teeth. They weren't gold because gold would have been too soft of a metal. He was like biting through crowbars and stuff. How long does it take to sail from Palm Beach County to Boston?
8 days.
8 days?
Yeah. Because you usually come up the intercoastal to Norfolk. And then from Norfolk, you can't go up the intercoastal anymore. So you can go up. You got two choices. You can go up Chesapeake Bay and take your chances on the Delaware Canal. And by take your chances, I mean the bottom, it's so shallow. Or you just go outside and you go out in the ocean and go up to Sandy Hook, New Jersey, and then duck in there, New York Harbor, Long Island Sound.
Now, wouldn't it be faster if you went outside instead of the intercoastal?
Oh, yeah.
But then it's subject to the weather, yeah.
Right.
But if the weather's nice, probably better to just go outside, right?
Yeah. But we did the ditch until it's today. I don't think we could do it because I think it's so silted up so much. They stopped. After the Second World War, they stopped dredging it because they used to dredge it because they'd have barges go up the intercoastal carrying munitions and shit, and they didn't want the submarines to get it. So they'd go inland where they couldn't get at it. So they keep it 8 feet deep the whole distance.
Right.
And you'd have to come up to an inlet where the water was coming in, and it would be 4 feet deep.
Right.
And you'd like,
Well, they definitely still dredge inlets. I don't think
Yeah.
they dredge the intercoastal though.
no, they don't.
I don't know if in Lake Worth, they did this thing in the intercoastal where, like Lake Worth, there's a seawall, and then the intercoastal where they took and they built these habitat little islands out there, and like they have little vegetation on them. They're supposedly good for fish and birds and stuff like that, and help filter the water. It's got mangroves and stuff on there. So they're trying, they're doing stuff to the intercoastal, but I haven't seen them dredge it in a long time.
No, they wouldn't.
I just watched a video the other day of a guy going from Palm Beach Inlet to the Bahamas on a ski-doo. Which was just
I'd be on a good day you could do that.
It looked really glassy, but I mean, there's just something about the immensity of the ocean being on something no bigger than a motorcycle that just terrifies me. Just looking around at all the vastness, I couldn't do it.
Well, having done it a lot, I mean, I've never tried to go to the islands or anything, but I did a lot of jet skiing, and there's days, man. I swear to God, there's days on the ocean. It's as calm as a lake. If you get one of those days, you could pop out to Bahamas in a couple hours on a jet ski.
Yeah, I think it took them 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours.
You can do the navigation direction,
And when this was a pretty nice ski-doo too. Like he had spare gas on it, and navigation stuff,
GPS, and
it was a big thing. But I mean, it was still a personal watercraft.
Yeah. Well, it's just a small boat, And when you think about it, imagine if you were back in the 12th century or something, and some Vikings go, "Hey, see that 18-foot boat? Get in there. We're gonna go over to Iceland or something."
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know anything about the North Atlantic, but we might catch some 30-foot waves on the way. You never know. Might be a little rough.
Yeah, I know the waves are bigger than the boat.
Yeah, that had to be crazy. So, at risk of saying my catchphrase, how long we got left?
We're only about halfway.
Okay, cool.
Well, we got a little bit of a late start, so I'd say we got a good 20 minutes. We'll put it that way.
Cool. Let's see what else we got to talk about. You got any other pre-mom stories you could think of that I would be interested in?
Pre-mom,
stuff you did before you met my mom, or even stuff you did after I don't know that much about when I was a kid.
I don't know. We lived in that house. Got what street it was on, but I remember I had a Mercury that one of the old Mercury's, like a 48, 49 Mercury, and the driver's door wouldn't open. So you see your mom going in and out that window, and I sold it to a guy, and I remember being at the house, and you had to be 2, maybe something like that. I get the front door, and I said, "Well, that's pretty authoritative knock." And I walk out, and there's 2 FBI agents outside, and they said, "Hi, I'm Melvin Schmo from the FBI." And I said, "Well, and
what can I do?
What can I possibly have to do with the FBI? You own a 1948 Mercury?" Not anymore. I said, "I sold it to a guy about a year ago." And he says, "Black guy?" And I said, "Yeah, black guy." He says, "Okay." And they turned around and left. So
okay.
I said,
so you never found anything more than that, huh?
That was it.
That's interesting. So I think I told the story on the podcast once about my mom's famous Volkswagen ride back to West Palm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't I mention that?
Yes, we talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So where were you? Were you staying in Janesville, or you in West Palm? Oh, so she was just going home to see Henry and Francis.
Right.
So when and what did you do when you heard about that?
Well, she called me and said, "Before I say anything else, we're both okay." And I went, "What? What are you talking about?" She said, "Well, I rolled the car over a few times."
Right.
I said, "What the hell did you do?" And she evidently jerked the wheel.
Right.
And got the wheels enough.
Yeah. Volkswagen's not that hard to roll over.
She rolled it.
And apparently neither was your car that I drove.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell that story?
Yeah.
On the pod?
Yeah.
I did? About flipping his other car?
Not the whole story. I asked you about it once, though, and it was brought up on the pod, but we didn't really go into details.
Yeah, well, it's not that. I mean, there's not that much detail. I just
turned the corner and didn't make it.
Well, yeah, I did. I hit something. There was like one of those power things, the big square power boxes on the side of the road,
Yeah,
and it's got those little pylons in front of it, right?
Well,
to
they're
keep the
not.
car-
They're not little pylons.
No.
They're like
Yeah,
8
yeah,
inches
yeah.
across. They're
So
big.
basically, what was happening is I was going around a turn, and I was trying to look back and see what street I had just turned off of. Didn't turn enough and hit one of these pylons just with the very corner of his car. And then the car, I mean, literally, I swear to God, I hit it, and then the car just went, bonk. It's like, what the heck? And the funny thing is, the insurance company totaled his car. I could have pushed the car over and drove it home. I mean, it wasn't that really damaged. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess
On the drive
nowadays
down-
anything happens to a car, it's total.
On the drive down on Saturday, I got cut off rudely right at Palm Beach Lake. Some guy came 4 lanes over to make it to the exit, and I had to swerve real hard. And had I been in like your Jeep, we'd have rolled it for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Absolutely would have rolled it. Only because my car is really low to the ground that it was okay. But the whole way here,
Yeah,
like
you
almost the
gotta be careful,
full distance
driver.
before
Yes.
somebody finally pulled a bonehead maneuver like that.
Yep. Yeah, and I gotta say, as bad as the driving is and stuff in Florida, I'm scared shitless of trying to drive here. Like, I mean, I literally could say, "Hey, Dad, give me the keys. I'm going to go to the dispensary," but like, I'd never find it. There's no way I
Right.
could find that place.
And if you
As a
did,
matter of
there's
fact,
no
it's funny, I
parking.
pulled up the map. What's that?
And if you did, there's no parking.
Yeah, right. Good point. Yep, you're right. Exactly right. But it's funny because I pulled up the map, like we're near the dispensary nearest me, and it pulls up the map, and I'm like, I couldn't even figure out where I was. I had to have him come up like, where are we on this map? It's not like there was no big pin that says you were here. I was like, where the hell are we? I don't even know. It was just interesting.
Well, I've got a question for Dr. Parker. What is
All
the
right.
worst thing Chip did as a kid? What is the thing he did that made you the angriest?
Gosh, I can't recall anything that really made me angry.
Well, I can recall the story. I don't remember it happening, but from what they tell me, apparently I ran out in front of a car once.
Oh yeah.
And you beat me.
I
once.
hit you once.
Yeah. I don't remember it.
I scared the shit out of me. I thought he was dead for sure. I mean, I just got a hold of him and pulled him back 4 or 5 inches, and it was enough to stay out of the way of the car.
Right.
And I just whacked him. I said, Jesus Christ,
Now,
kid.
I've never been
Yeah.
a parent, but I've got a lot of nephews and nieces and stuff, and I've always gone by the theory of if I was a parent, I would not, hit my child, and the exception would be a situation like that. In my opinion, if the lesson you're trying to teach the kid is something that would prevent them from grievous bodily harm or death, then a little
Right.
smack might be worth it to get the point across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Running
Yeah,
out in traffic is a really good example. Playing with electrical sockets, things like that. You might have to crack them on the ass.
And clearly it didn't scar me. I don't even remember it.
Right.
Okay, if you say so. I don't remember any of that.
But
But
parents
another
that
thing
give up
that
because
everybody always asks
kid
me
won't
that I
clean their
don't really
room.
have a solid answer for is, how did I get the name Chip?
I have no idea.
So it was all Linda's doing. All my mom's doing.
I think so, but I'm not sure.
It must have had, because you got to look at it. My name otherwise would be Bill, like yours.
Right.
So obviously that's not, but that's I think how Skip got his name also,
Right.
because
probably.
he was going to be another Henry.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess that's a Herbert thing. Like, all right,
Right.
we'll start calling him Skip and Chip and Dip and whatever else instead of their other names. Or
now your mom told me on one occasion, because I asked her how you got the name Chip, and she said because he was just a chip off the old block, referring to William Sr.
I don't remember her ever saying that.
But she did tell me
Maybe
that
she
once.
told
She
you
could
that.
have been just joshing me. Who knows? But
Yeah, she may have been just kidding. I've certainly heard that a million times. I was, oh, you must be a chip off the old wire. Yeah. And we look nothing alike, as you can see.
Right.
I beg to differ.
It's funny too, because I've often thought, at least on my mom, I've often thought, what if I was, adopted? But obviously that can't be the case.
Right.
But with my mom, it could be. But obviously she knows.
Right. Yeah,
She knows
I'm
where
the
I came
same
from.
way. My dad's no longer with us, but nobody that ever saw us sitting next to each other would ever call into question the parentage. It was pretty obvious.
Right. Now, was your dad Roger's dad also?
No,
Oh no,
no. Roger had a
Oh,
different
so-
father.
same mother, different dad. Got
Right,
it,
right,
got it,
right.
got it. I was going to say, because he didn't look that much like
No,
you.
no.
or
He
your
looked. He
dad.
looked like mom's side of the family for sure.
Right.
He looked like Jack. He looked like my uncle Jack a lot.
Yes. Oh, now you mention it. Yeah. You're right. No shit.
And what's funny is his son Michael, who we had on the pod, Bushy, he looks like my Uncle Chip.
Oh, no kidding. I've never met your Uncle Chip.
Oh, he's been dead for many years now, but
Right.
yeah, he was the oldest of them all.
Yep. So let's see what else. Any other? Oh, didn't you party with like Robin Williams in Gainesville?
Oh, yeah.
After a Gator Growl or something like
Yeah,
that.
he did Gator Growl, and he came down to the Sovereign Restaurant, which was the press's hangout. The radio and TV and newspaper guys all hung out at the Sovereign. And he went behind the bar and started making drinks. And he was a good bartender, but he was also throwing jokes with every drink. He just had the place cracked up unbelievably. He did that for about a half an hour and then ducked out, with the Gator Growl crew. They just took him.
Right.
Well, I'm guessing after 30 minutes, he needed to go back in the bathroom and reapply.
Yeah. I was gonna say they don't have enough drugs here. Let's go.
Yeah, 30 minutes is too long to go without a bump.
The amount of cocaine that guy must have done to keep that act going like that for so long. But I tell the story all the time of like one of the Gator Growls I went to was Rodney Dangerfield, and that was one of the best. I'd never seen anybody so damn funny in my life. It was hilarious.
He is funny.
Yeah, and he had that place howling, like 60,000 kids, laughing at Rodney Dangerfield. And that was right when he had that movie that just come out, his last, where they do the triple Lindy.
Oh yeah, Back to School. Yeah, Back to School. That was the first movie I ever saw Robert Downey Jr. in, and he plays a bizarre character in that.
Yes,
quite the comic relief. It's hard to believe that guy became Iron Man.
Yeah. Well, basically who he was playing in there was Van Wilder.
Yeah. Yeah, I just watched Caddyshack the other day. I hadn't seen it in a couple of years, and it was nice to go back and rewatch that. I forgot how many great one-liners are in it. And, I've always loved people that can get away with wearing really ugly clothes, like the uglier the better. We've talked about Mr. Lively in high school and his ties,
Right.
So you remember the Super Dave show, Super Dave Osborne?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Super Dave always had this reporter named Mike Walden that was always on standby, right? And Mike Walden had the most atrocious wardrobe. And for years, I've been saying, man, I would love to get my hands on Mike Walden's wardrobe, But I realized after rewatching Caddyshack that it's not Mike Walden's wardrobe that I want. It's Rodney's. Rodney Dangerfield's clothing in Caddyshack is some of the most god-awful combinations of plaids, greens, yellows. Chef's kiss on how hideous that shit is. I would rock that every day if I had it.
Right.
Oh, well, look at that hat. Looks good on you, though.
Yeah. Last time I saw a mouth like that, it was a bass.
No. The last time I saw a mouth like that, it had a hook in it.
Yeah. I fucked that one up. Oh, God. Yeah, those are the days, man. Back in the 80s.
Right. And I also saw a documentary. I saw the documentary first, which is what inspired me to go back and rewatch it. But it was a documentary about the making of Caddyshack, and they were talking to the director, and he was like, "Yeah, well, when we first, created the movie, it was a story about the caddies." He goes, "But halfway through filming, we realized that the three supporting lead comic actors were such funny guys that's really what everybody was going to want to see." And so they kind of split the movie into those two stories, and basically 99% of what came out of Bill Murray's mouth in that movie was ad-libbed.
Oh, yeah.
Almost none of it was written down. The entire Cinderella story speech where he's hitting the plants with the golf clubs and, all of that improv, all of the varmint poontang stuff improv.
Well, that scene where Chevy Chase is playing golf at night and hits it through into his jack,
and they
have a whole conversation. That's fun. That's probably the best scene in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, that thing's all improv too.
Like, all right, well, listen, Carl. Just let me borrow a wedge, maybe park your curtain there, and that was by far the best scene of that movie. It was hilarious.
And looking back too, I realized the guy they cast to be the bully of the caddies, the guy that was always smoking cigarettes. And wearing leather and stuff and always trying to intimidate Danny Noonan. Mm-hmm. Noonan was bigger than him.
Oh, yeah.
Like considerably bigger than him. Why? How did that guy get cast as the bully? He's not intimidating at all. He's a tiny little skinny guy.
He was Latin. He had a knife.
I think Noonan could have taken him is what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course he could have.
Plus, everybody had access to golf clubs. What's your knife going to do if I hit you with a 9-iron?
Right. Well, I mean, that's kind of that was kind of part of the film. I thought that, that guy thought he was so intimidating, and Danny Noonan was like, yeah, whatever. Get out of
Okay,
here.
yeah, maybe.
But yeah, what a great movie. That's it. They don't make movies. Oh, dude, speaking of movies,
I know.
I almost forgot. I'm glad you thought of this. I just, last night or night before last, I'm having to watch TV here. I haven't watched TV in forever. It's quite eye-opening. But I'm watching HBO, and they have the world premiere of a movie called The Substance. I don't know if you remember. It came out about 2 years ago. It's got Demi Moore. Anyway,
no.
It is probably the worst movie I have ever seen in my entire life. And it's won some kind of Cannes Film Festival award. Literally the worst movie. And at risk of ruining it for everybody.
Oh, you won't be ruining it for me, but go ahead.
Yeah. The premise of it is Demi Moore is this aging, like, fitness chick, like a Denise Austin type star that's just gotten too old. She gets fired. She gets in a car accident. She's in the hospital for just, not much of anything, but she's emotionally, like, distraught and crying in the hospital because she just got fired, just got in an accident. And this, like, nurse guy says, here, try this to change my life, and gives her this little thing called this, to get her this substance that she's supposed to try. And she shoots herself up with this substance, and literally a younger, better looking version of her pops out of her back via the alien.
Oh.
And which I'm like, wait a minute. This is where the movie really just departs from any kind of get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about? So I'm sitting there thinking, as Demi Moore is laying on the ground with her back wide open, what I thought was dead. Apparently she's not dead. The chick that just came out sews her up. Dude, it's not only the worst movie in the world, it is probably the grossest movie in the world. I swear to God, there's some times where I had to turn away. It was so disgusting. It was literally, it's comically the worst movie in the world. Matter of fact, we should actually do an episode where we do a Mystery Science Theater and watch it, because we could have a good time with that. It was so bad. The only redeeming part of the whole movie is you get to see the young chick and Demi Moore naked a lot. That's it.
Right.
That's it. Other than that, it is a horrible movie.
I thought when you started talking about movies that you were going to bring up the new Nicolas Cage movie that you were talking about the other day.
Oh yeah. Did we talk about that on the last show?
No, we said we were gonna talk about it, so we might want to mention it quickly. I don't remember the title of it, but from the preview that I saw, The Carpenter's Son. It appears to me as if this is going to be, or is, a movie from the perspective of Joseph. The father of, well, not the father of Jesus, but the stepfather of Jesus, the husband of Mary. Yeah. And I don't think, I can't think of that story ever being told from that perspective in any genre, whether it be a book or a movie or whatever. And that would be, that's an interesting thing to explore. Like, this kid comes along that the wife claims you're not the father. He clearly has some sort of supernatural or paranormal abilities. Do you just buy the story hook, line, and sinker that this is God's son? Or do you maybe question if you have a demon running around the house or some little devil child?
Yeah.
It kind of makes it puts me in the mind of, did you ever read the book Grendel?
No.
I can't think of the name of the author, but the book Grendel is basically the story of Beowulf, but told from Grendel's point of view, told from the monster's point of view.
Yes,
so
I have read that.
That's kind of like, I kind of feel like this movie might be something similar to that, just looking at a very familiar story from a completely different angle.
But I'm just amazed that the whole concept of it hasn't gone viral yet, just because of the crazy wacko Christians that'll be like, that's blasphemy. How dare you, portray Jesus that way or whatever.
Well, every time a movie like that comes out, a small minority of Christians will condemn it and oppose it. It happened with The Last Temptation of Christ. It happened with Monty Python and the Life of Brian. It happened with the Passion of the Christ, although that was more positively interpreted by most Christians.
But none of those movies actually portrayed Jesus as a demon. Which is, I believe, what the movie does. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Well, The Last Temptation was close to doing that.
Yeah, true. Sure.
Certainly not Life of Brian. No, in no way. In fact, as those guys have pointed out many times, the movie's not even about Jesus. There's nothing sacrilegious about it. It's about a guy who was born at the same time as Jesus and got mistaken. Like Jesus is right down the road in an actual, with the lights and everything. And when the wise men come and see Brian and realize they're in the wrong place, they leave and head down 3 mangers, and that's where Jesus is. So,
well, speaking of religion, getting back to the whole Middle Eastern thing, it seems to me they actually, as soon as Trump was done making his speech in Israel, he got on a plane to go to Egypt, some kind of Middle East peace conference that Bibi didn't go to. But it seems to me that we have somehow allied with the Sunni Muslims to get rid of the Sharia Muslims. Would that seem like an accurate characterization?
Yes, and it's always been fairly accurate, whether it was by design or just by mistake, because there's really not that many Shia Muslims. The vast majority, well, there never have been. The vast majority of Muslims are Sunni Muslims. The only places where Shia Muslims and Shia Islam is like the actual predominant would be in Iran. And then also in certain areas like Hezbollah and Hamas are both predominantly Shia. But some of your more aggressive Muslim organizations tend to be Shia. There are some groups in Yemen and some groups in Syria. But there's the only one nation state that really claims to be Shia, and that would be Iran.
Right. It's funny. He made another comment during his speech about, he's bragging about ending 8 wars in 8 months or whatever the hell he's saying. But one of them, he was listing them all off or whatever. And one of them, I guess, is Azerbaijan. And when he mentioned that, the people in it just laughed. They literally giggled at him like, yeah, right. So, I mean, that's a Muslim country, isn't it?
I believe it is. I think it's right next to Albania.
Right. Which is kind of funny. There, I thought that was funny. I don't know if anybody even noticed that, but it's like, he was supposed to turn that off. But
Fair enough. We're kind of reaching close to the end anyway, and I might have to hit the restroom here pretty soon. So,
right.
We should wrap this up.
We can wrap it up. That was a good episode. I'm good.
Obviously, we want people to like, comment, and subscribe. We want people to leave us.
I forgot to ask. Have you got any phone calls?
We have not got any phone calls, but would you like to give them the number?
Oh, number 904-549-9024, right?
Absolutely correct. 904-549-9024. And
I do want to make one last comment on, we tell people to leave comments so we can talk about it. But there was one comment made on our Charlie Kirk episode that I've actually been meaning to talk about. But there's some guy that makes a comment that says, at the very end of his comment, he says, I'm glad at least they were talking about common sense gun laws. And I would just like to state that there's no such thing as a common sense gun law. There's a Second Amendment, which is the law, which means that there can be no gun laws. So that would be my pushback on that guy's comment.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out and see. And of course, we are now the Slack Doctors. This, I think, is our second episode as the Slack Doctors.
Yeah. I see the lovely. Thank you, Scott, for the lovely logo. Shout out to Scott Allen.
Yep.
All right, bud. I guess that'll about do it.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. And next time you'll have Dr. Chip back in studio, and I'll probably be zooming in. Who knows? Maybe we'll both be here.
Back to the regular way.
Yeah. Yep.
Thanks, all right, guys. We'll see you later.